Good morning folks, viewers. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot. Welcome back to the channel and to the second of this week's reviews. We are back in the African continent. We're in the country of Botswana and we're close to the capital Gaborone. And what you're looking at today is Gaborone Seretse Khama International Airport in Botswana. Foxtrot Bravo Sierra Kilo. This is a payware scenery by BARELLI MSFS Addon. And you're looking at version 1 for both the PC and Xbox. The scenery is available on Flightsim.To and Sim Market, and you can get it for Xbox on Flightsim.To. I'll give you the Sim Market price, which includes VAT. It's €14.64, which equates to roughly $16.05 US, or £12.65 UK. US and UK prices are estimates taken from the euro, and as I said, they do include tax and VAT, which may vary depending on which country you're in when you make the purchase. Payware sceneries of this kind, I expect the bar to be raised a little bit higher than some of the things that you might see on Flightsim.To, and this scenery is no exception. It's a really nice little scenery. Gaborone is the capital of Botswana. There's one or two other sceneries from Botswana, including Maun, that are available on Flightsim.To, and of course now we're getting a number of sceneries for the African continent, so your ability to explore this country in detail is significantly increasing now with sceneries like this. No features listed as such. The terminal only has one jetway, and you'll see the jetway test later. My aircraft is down there parked with it, and we'll look at that shortly. So as ever, we'll start with some history. So history: Gaborone SIR SERETSE KHAMA International Airport, Foxtrot Bravo Sierra Kilo, is a public use international airport owned and operated by the Civil Aviation Authority of Botswana. The airport is located 9 miles or 15 kilometers north of downtown Gaborone and is the main international airport of Gaborone, which is the capital city of Botswana. The airport is named after Sir Seretse Khama, the first president of Botswana. It was opened in 1984 to handle regional and international traffic and has the largest passenger movement in the country. Airlines operating from Gaborone include Air Botswana with flights to Maun, Cape Town, Harare, Joburg, Kasane and Lusaka, Airlink, who do flights to Johannesburg, and Ethiopian Airlines, who do flights to Addis Ababa. 2018 saw the airport's biggest passenger throughput, with over 444,000 passengers passing through that year. So, interesting fact in Gaborone's history: on 11th of October 1999, an Air Botswana pilot, Captain Chris Phatswe, commandeered a parked Aerospatiale ATR-42 aircraft without authorization in the early morning and took off. Once in the air, he asked by radio to speak to the President, Air Botswana's General Manager, the Station Commander, the Central Police Station and his girlfriend, among others. Because the President was out of the country, he was allowed to speak to the Vice President. In spite of all attempts to persuade him to land and discuss his grievances, he stated he was going to crash the aircraft onto the apron. After flying for about 2 hours, he did 2 loops and then crashed the aircraft into Air Botswana's 2 other ATR-42s that were parked on the apron. The captain was killed, but there were no other casualties. Airline sources say Captain Phatswe had been grounded for medical reasons, then later refused reinstatement and re-grounded until February 2000. Air Botswana operations were crippled by this incident, as the airline only had one aircraft left, a BAE 146, that was grounded with technical problems. So there you go, interesting little airport with a small amount of history, and made famous by one really very unusual and dreadful incident. However, there you go, that's the history for you. So let's look at runways. Gaborone Airport operates a single runway, 0826, measuring 13,123 feet or 4,000 meters in length, and is constructed from concrete. The airport lies at quite a high elevation of 3,299 feet or 1,005 meters and sits within the GMT UTC plus 2 hours time zone. Botswana does not observe daylight saving time while the UK does, and so the airport is 1 hour ahead of the UK currently. So runway 08, and we're looking down the throat of it now, features high intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting system and precision approach path indicators on the left side. So as you can see here, they've actually got the precision approach path indicators on the right side, and they should be on the left according to the charts. Also notice they have centerline lighting, which again is not listed on the chart, but they've got the shorter field approach lighting system here too. But as I've said many a time really, anything additionally that the scenery creators leave in or they add, which helps to enhance your landing options here during the darkness hours, for me is a good thing. It's perfectly okay. It's just that we're not exactly as per the charts. Pappies should be on the left. There's no centerline lighting listed on the chart. But apart from that, yeah, we're fine. This runway features a standard instrument landing system with X, Y and Z approach options. There's also an RNAV approach option, and you have a VOR Z and Y approach options as well. So you've got plenty of landing approach options here for this runway, certainly during the darkness hours. Let's have a look at the other end, runway 26. So here we are at the other end, runway 26, which also features high intensity runway lighting, airfield lighting system this time, and precision approach path indicators again on the left side, and this time they've got it right. As I say, the only thing that they've left in or they've added is the centerline lighting and the short approach lighting system here, which again is not on the charts as per the charts, but no problem at all. Runway 26 features an RNAV approach option and a VOR-Z and Y approach option. No ILS at this end. So there you go, that does it for runways. The only thing I have spotted while I did have a look at this earlier is that we've got traffic entering the runway, which is a bit of a no-no and a bit of a showstopper for me. Many sceneries I've looked at recently, we've had vehicles just going up and down the taxiways, which is perfectly okay. But just occasionally you get sceneries where they've allowed the traffic to enter the runway, which really is not very good. However, as you can see, the runways are well delineated and lit, even if they have left in some features that are not on the charts, but not really going to complain about that. So that does it for runways. Let's do the jetway test. Okay, jetways. Gaborone International has just the one jetway. And here we are with my Airbus A320. Let's run the jetway connection, see how it does. Okay, the wheels move, and we've got noise as well. We've got jetway operating noise. And that's not too bad. It has gone through the skin slightly. Let's have a closer look. That looks to be a pretty good fit, to tell you the truth. It looks pretty good. So there we are from the other side. That's a pretty snug fit. It's probably one of the best actual fuselage fits I've seen so far. That really fits quite well, and it doesn't look as though it's gone through the skin that much. Let's try and get a bit closer. So there you can see the actual lip of the jetway is touching the side of the aircraft just as it should. And actually the hood has gone through, but only slightly. It's definitely the best fit I've seen. So here we are looking inside, and that looks pretty good. If you look at the top and the sides, it really does look quite good actually. I mean, it looked as though it went through from the outside, but here you can see it's a pretty snug fit, and the door is open, doesn't get in the way of it either. Let's look at the lower part. Again, there you can see the lower part looks really quite good. And there's a view from inside the aircraft looking out towards the door. It's pretty good. In fact, I'll probably venture to say this is probably one of the most accurate jetway connections I've seen. And just while we're here, this is maybe a little unusual, I don't know. You've got an animated moving jetway, and you've got a fixed jetway there. A fixed door that actually extends out, I believe. don't know that we can actually test this. Maybe we can. So actually we can't. It's completely fixed, so we'll leave it alone. But first of all, let's test the JETWAY retraction. So there you go, the retraction's pretty good. To be honest, I'm not sure that we could get an aircraft in a position to use that little jetway there. So if you look here, the position of the jetway where it's fully retracted, you can see it's essentially masked any access to the other jetway there. So I think this is probably just for show. I don't think it works anyhow. But there you go, that's the jetway, the only jetway they have. And to be honest, it's the first time I've seen a double jetway of that kind. But yeah, kudos if that's what exists at the real airport, then, and kudos to the guys for doing it. So that's a jetway test done for you. So that's the jetway test done for you. Let's have a tour of this airport now and a really good close look. Actually, to be honest, I really quite like this scenery. But let's take you through it. We'll do an airside tour starting down from the threshold of runway 08 and coming up to the ramp, so you get a good look at what this scenery is like. So here's taxiway Bravo. There you can see it extends the full length all the way down past this 13,000 foot runway. Just slow down a bit as we get closer. Here is what you can see is sort of general aviation and the cargo area down there to the right, which we'll take a closer look at in a minute. There's the fire station and the fire control tower down there to the lower right as we passed. And there you can see various radar domes and dishes. Here's the main apron. There's my Phoenix A320 parked on the ramp. Just the one jetway as you can see, but there are a number of stands available. The front of the terminal modelling looks great. It really does look nice. They've added some nice little touches. Texturing looks good, not much in the way of shadowing, but the texturing does look pretty good. The trees look fine, they don't encroach on the buildings. Here you've got various hangars, one of which is open, and some light aircraft parked. It all looks pretty impressive. A couple of twins down there to the right, more hangars. Two more partially open hangars there and a couple of helicopter spots. Very nice indeed. So as you can see, the hangars and buildings are nicely modelled. Trees are nicely modelled, but as you can see, there's no shadowing effect on by the trees. You can't see the tree shadows on the ground like you can see some of the shadowing from the buildings. Here, for example, you can see the dark shadow, but the trees don't seem to produce any shadowing at all. But all in all, these buildings are nicely modelled and textured. It's the feel of the airport is really quite nice. And you've got a road there which is not entirely finished as such, but that's default, I think. Again, some nice buildings and trees. And here as we approach the main terminal, here you can see the huge landside car park. Little animated flag down there, which is nice. The building is really nicely constructed. Nice to see the road system 3D modelled. And yeah, you know, it looks nice. It really does. It looks better than the default, and it looks better than you might see, say, for a freeware scenery as such. But it looks good. It really does. I do like these palm trees. They look very, very nice. Here's the back of the cargo hangar, cargo apron we looked at earlier. Very nice indeed. Let's have a close-up look at the airside ramp, which is what you pilots will be interested in. Some nice vehicles. Again, building modelling looks really nice. It's quite impressive. Various bits of local clutter on the ramp. And there you've got the name of the airport on the top there. So airside, you're well catered for here. Very, very nice indeed. So here we're looking at the GA area and the maintenance area, and as you can see, lots of bit of clutter, some open hangars with grass inside, so it doesn't look like they've gone to the extent of modelling the inside of some of the hangars. But generally the modelling was a decent quality. There you can see a couple of twins. There's a quick peek inside one hangar. And there's a quick peek inside another, so not too bad. They've done the inside there and I can't see any grass, so maybe that other one that had grass in it was just a one-off, so to speak. So just continuing the airside tour. Well, it looks nice, it really does. Yeah, it looks as though that one hangar was just the one with the grass in it. Here's the helicopter landing spots, and again partially open hangars. Very nice. So just a slow past landside to look at some of these buildings in detail. And this time we'll go up right up to the terminal, see if there's anything in terms of people or parked vehicles landside. Okay, got a couple of trees there that are infringing on the roadway. But these are minor issues that can be corrected. But it's nice to see the flags waving. Very nice indeed. We just go around these buildings here. I mean, the modelling is quite decent. It is. Weathering on the buildings is quite impressive. There we got the fuel there. Let's go across to airside. One thing that's missing here is the airside landside barrier fence. So it looks as though people can actually go straight into airside, which is not a good thing. So there's a control tower from the outside. Let's have a look in. As you can see, the inside's been modelled, but unfortunately no chairs and no controller. But there we go. But all in all, it's nicely modelled, very nicely done generally. It's perfectly acceptable. Let's have a close look at the cargo building. There on the left you can see fuel, probably part of the fuel farm. But again, it's not been modelled in its own area, it's just literally been stuck in the grass. However, you've got lots of bits of clutter. There's a hangar there. Let's pop inside, see if there's anything in there. Okay, nothing inside the hangar, but it has been modelled. And here you can see the officers at the top of the cargo area. There has been some attempt here at parallaxing, but in the daytime certainly doesn't look good. Might look better at night when we have a look. But all in all, it looks nice. It looks very nice. The atmosphere, the ambience is as it should be. It looks good. It'd be interesting to see what this looks like in the darkness hours. So there's an overview shot landside of the terminal with the car park. You can see buses and things parked up here on the left. The car park's been nicely modelled, full 3D modelling, no photoreal, and the cars are in the proper positions. So that's really quite nice. There's a landside shot of the landside part of the terminal, which has been basically done. Nothing more than that, no people, but a couple of buses and cars. And there's a further shot of the landside showing the airport signage and the landside part of the terminal, the concrete structure in front of us. It all looks pretty good there. So there we are, looking out towards landside, the entrance to the airport. Let's just go and tour down this road and see if there's anything else. So you've got your lights in position. Be interesting to see if they light up during the darkness hours. And there you've got that structure there. And some more buildings and bits and pieces here off the airport landside down towards the entrance. So here's the road that leads to the entrance to the airport. It's quite a long one, as you can see. It goes way out in the distance. And here to the left you've got some more buildings that they look a bit better than photo scenery or the default. So maybe they've been added, I'm not sure. If they had, that's really good. But just look how far away we are from the airport. I mean, this is a long road that goes all the way out. Okay, it's photo scenery here, you know, but it works reasonably. I'm not sure what this is, but you know, it's great. Let's raise up a little bit. So there you get a good idea of how the scenery and how far the road is it goes out. And you've also got this main highway going along here. And here you can see the whole airport really fits in very nicely with the default terrain. Well, this is one of the nicest African airports I've seen. It's very nice. The modelling is really good, even though it's basic in some areas. It would be nice to see it developed rather more. But the only nitpicks I've got are the odd trees that are infringing the highway. There you go. But outside and airside, everything you need is there, and it's typical African bush. It works. So let's get inside the terminal quickly and see if there's anything inside. So here we are, just entered from airside on the ground floor, and as you can see it's been built but there's nothing in here. But you know, you could argue this is ready to be developed. There we are looking in on the other direction. This is airside here and this is landside. And there you can just about see through the glass out to airside. And again you can see out through the glass to landside. So here we are looking from the upper level inside the building, and as you can see nothing has been developed inside. You've got the building complete internally, and as I said, it's ripe to be developed inside with passengers and all the usual things that you expect inside the terminal. Should they wish to do that, maybe as an update, it would be lovely to see it, because the building's quite unique. So there you go, that was a daytime tour, both airside and landside, and literally right out. This airport it's just really nice, ambience and atmosphere wise, it's great. It sits within the default scenery of Africa really well, and it really shouts Africa at you. It's great. The only things, as I say, the only issues I can see so far, you've got one hangar that's got grass inside, but it's no big deal. And you've got some trees that landside roads there that are encroaching on those roads, and you've got vehicles going onto the runway, but those are the only real nitpicks I can find. So let's lower the lighting now. Let's have a look at dusk. Okay, 5:45 in the evening local time, and you can see the lights are just about to come on, and again the terminal's bathed in the glow of the sunset. And looking out that way towards the threshold of runway 08, here's the Bravo taxiway. You can see green centerline lighting, plenty of signage, all in the correct spaces. And looking in the other direction towards runway 26 threshold, here you've got the GA maintenance area, and it all looks really nice in the African sunset. So let's lower the lighting further and see how it works. Okay, just 10 minutes later, it's 5:05 in the evening, and as you can see the sun really dips pretty quickly down at these latitudes. And here they are, and the lights are coming up there. You can see it just popped on, so it's 56 now, 4 minutes to 6 p.m, and the lighting is beginning to show, and it looks pretty nice. It's ambient, it looks good. And the same view that way there, you can see the sun dipping below the horizon. Ground lighting looks great, no complaints at all. And of course the cargo area has lighting too. And the GA maintenance apron area also has lighting. You can also just see the blue airfield edge lights here too. So here we are at the ramp. Interesting, now the building comes to life a little bit more with the lighting. Ramp area is well lit, good signage, really no problems at all at dusk. And in the distance there you can see the stand lights, no asobo globes floating around, which is good news. And looking down the rest of the ramp, again the lighting is provided by these big stanchion lights, perfectly adequate, all looks good. There's a control tower building from the outside. There's a shot of it close up, let's just pop inside. So here we are inside the control tower. It's really bright actually, but no, it looks good. It's just, would be nice to see a controller and a chair to complete the work and maybe complete the texturing on the top and the bottom, but that's fine. But there it is. It looks great in the low light. It's very, very nice. So a quick look at the cargo ramp here. And as I said, in these latitudes, once sunset comes down, it doesn't last long. The light fades really quickly. So here's what we get to see at sunset. Again, excellent lighting, perfectly adequate, and no asobo globes floating around. So kudos for that. And a very quick tour landside to look at the lighting and the car park. It looks lovely, looks very, very pleasant indeed. Haven't seen any globes yet. Subtle lighting coming from the stanchion lights. Okay, got one or two asobo globes floating around here, but I guess I kind of expected that really. And as we come back out towards airside, heading towards the GA maintenance area. Do like these big stanchion lights, they provide a lot of good light. So GA area looks good here. Yeah, it's lovely, no real complaints at all, looks great. Plenty of lighting, green centerline taxiway lights as well for anybody who wants to come up here. Very nice indeed, it's a lovely little scenery. There's a helicopter area for you helicopter jockeys. So there you go, quick tour during the hours of dusk. Let's drop it right down to night time now. Normally in Botswana there's no VFR flying, certainly after 6 PM after sunset when the sun goes down. So everything else after that is limited to instrument flight rules to aircraft appropriately equipped. Any of you who watched the Bush Pilot series on the Dave channel some years ago will see that. And you got a lot of bush planes going out to the various strips in various parts of Botswana out in the Okavango Delta. No VFR flying after sunset because most airports just aren't equipped. So the same is true to some extent of Gaborone, but pretty much everything that comes in here is IFR anyway. However, let's lower lighting down to night time now and see what it looks like. Okay, 9 PM local time, and as you can see, darkness is pretty much well upon us. The terminal looks a bit excessively bright, but I don't know, I think maybe they've done that to make sure that that particular ramp area is flooded with light correctly. I've seen this in a couple of sceneries where they've overlit a building in order to provide light locally, rather than trying to sort of sort the light out themselves. But no, it's fine, it looks great. Control tower looks nice to the right there, and again you've got an abundance of light inside there coming from inside it. And looking towards the GA maintenance area up there to the northern part, you've got the runway on the left. As you can see, blue airfield edge lights, green centerline lights, and plenty of lighting airside for you pilots by the terminal, and further up, right up to the GA area. So that looks pretty good. There's the cargo apron in the distance, and in the foreground you've got the fire station there also that is lit. Again, plenty of adequate lighting, no problems at all there. And a quick look landside of the terminal, there you can see, looks great. It's perfectly acceptable. The lighting over the car park is very nice. It's quite subtle, it's not overdone, and it looks good. It really does. And strangely enough, the globes, you got the one or two Asobo globes over here, actually don't look too bad. They provide the right kind of level of enhancement, and they don't look intrusive and obvious, which is some of the things you see in many other sceneries. Just a close-up look at the terminal there and the buses. There's the flag waving away there. And another quick look landside of the terminal. We've got that nice effect on the glass. As I said, the interior is not modelled at all, but the interior is actually built, so it's ripe to be modelled internally with the appropriate check-in desk people and stuff like that, should they wish to upgrade this scenery. Be nice to see that. And the only other thing that's missing during the daytime, as I said, is basically some of the shadowing that is missing from the trees, certainly during the daytime. Quick shot of the ramp there from landside. There you can see the signage. Taxiway signage looks great, plenty of signs, they're all correct. Now there's the landside road that goes all the way out to the main highway. Got a red flashing light on top of a building there. As you can see, lighting does exist. I don't know how far it goes out, but way in the distance there you've got Gaborone, the city. But it's great, it's all pretty effective. And there's a nice overall shot you're there showing you the airside ramp and the buildings, and just the way it looks in the dead of night. I think it looks really nice. Atmospherically and ambience wise, it does it for me. It's really nice. A lot of stuff's quite basic and one or two bits and pieces missing. You know, this isn't a major developer scenery by any chance, but it's really nice. It has enough about it to make it really look this good. So let's bring the dawn up. So 6:45 AM, and normally this is where VFR flying would be allowed to start. Sunrise. There's a nice view of the airport. Looks really, really nice. The lights are still on, but things are starting to sort of get going, as it were. Just ambience wise, the whole thing looks really nice. There's the cargo and maintenance area, and you see you've got the sun rising in the distance. And the whole thing just looks really nice. Mountains in the distance too, and you've still got the lights of the city to the left. Okay, so now things are starting to brighten up a bit. Let's move the lighting up a little bit more. Okay, 7:30 AM, and as you can see now, the sunrise is really getting going. Again, I can't say it enough. This looks really, really nice. I love the way it fits into the default terrain. It really does look like a bush airport. Even though it's an international one, it's got enough in it for me to make it worth the purchase. It looks great. Do I think it's worth the purchase? Just over $17. Just over $16 US, or 14.5 euros, and those prices do include tax, by the way. I think it's a really good, competitive price. A big bonus is it's available for Xbox too, so you Xbox users will be able to enjoy this part of Africa. And nicely modelled. I can find no real problems with this scenery. Like I said, the only sort of issues, there's a lack of shadowing on the ground from some of the trees. You just don't see any ground reflections, and one or two of the trees here landside are encroaching on the airside road. They've got the pappies on the wrong side in terms of the navigation on the runways. But you know, they're nitpicks really. It's nothing. Probably the biggest showstopper for me is vehicles going down the runway. That really shouldn't be happening, and I know some developers are able to forestall that. I don't know why it hasn't been done here. However, this developer has made a number of sceneries, and you can clearly see that perhaps their skills are developing and getting better. On the plus side, it's a beautiful little scenery in a nice location, close to the capital of this part of the world. The terminal looks great, and it's ripe for internal development. Would love to see it developed inside. Lighting is really subtle in the dusk and darkness hours. It looks great. Would like to see a bit more lighting for perhaps further down the road here, but no, really not much to complain about. A competitive price, really nice price, and a lovely little scenery. No real complaints about it at all. It's wonderful. So yes, do I like this scenery? I love it. It's beautiful. I bought it. I wasn't given it, just so you know. And the comments, of course, and thoughts are all my own, and I like it. I do some flying in Africa, and now we've got some places to fly into. Could be really fun. No hesitation in recommending it. So there you go. Gaborone, SIR Seretse Khama International Airport in Botswana, Africa. Foxtrot Bravo Sierra Kilo. It's a payware scenery by BARELLI MSFS Addon. This is the version 1, the release version, and it's available for both PC and Xbox. Download is 57 meg and it installs at 370 meg. It's available from Sim Market, and you can also get it on Flightsim.To as well, although as far as I know the Flightsim.To price doesn't include tax. Sim Market price, which does include tax and VAT, is €14.64, which equates to roughly $16.05 or £12.65 UK. As I said, the US and UK prices are estimates taken from the euro, and they do include tax and VAT. It's a lovely little airport. I can't wait to fly in here, and maybe we'll do a video about that. So there you go, folks. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Lee. Hope you've enjoyed the review. Probably a little out of the ordinary, but I know there are some people who like to fly in Africa or are waiting for developers to sort of pay a bit more attention to this continent. And this scenery is great. It's no exception to the case where you've got some lovely sceneries in Africa now, and the terrain looks good, looks pretty real. And as I said, no hesitation in recommending it, certainly at the price it's being released at. And you get the choice of getting it from Sim Market or Flightsim.To. So thanks for joining me, folks. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot. Buy me a coffee if you like what I do. I put a lot of work into my reviews to try and help you, the customer, decide whether you want to spend your money or not. And small donations will be greatly appreciated. It really does help. I'm retired now and living on a pension. But there we go. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you if I can at the weekend. I might try and get another video up, but we'll be doing some more next week. So take care. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.